elements of ASMR involved in them. That's something that interests you, correct? Perfect. So first up I have for you an animated film, and it is called Most Important Thing in the World by Will Wood. And I do have some information from the database. Written and directed by Will Wood and produced and storyboarded by YouTube animator Twisted Doctor. This video was created by a crew of 40 independent animators around Will Wood's song Memento Mori off of his 2020 album, The Normal Album. I do have a statement from the director. There is nothing more liberating than knowing that in the face of the infinite, our lives amount to nothing. Nothing matters isn't really a depressing idea. It's a freeing one, because it tells us that no matter how weird we are, how sick we might be, how out of whack with the world we seem, and how tough things get, our lives can and should be whatever we want them to be. Momentum mori means remember, you will die, and remembering that is truly one of the most important things in the world. It is a very cool journey into a 20s style animation. I will let you watch a little, okay? Of course. This film today? Okay, I'll definitely make sure that gets with you on your way out. Now let's see what else I have in the ASMR MDB for you. Here we go. If you don't mind, I think that you should have a well-rounded movie watching experience, and there's a really cool documentary. Awesome, you're into documentaries. Just pull up that info then. Okay. This is called Hard Rubbish, a collection of memories by Alida Graziano. In this film, Alida attempts to bring her family together by making their life into a film. And here is what that says about the film in the database. Here we have it. I didn't make this film because I think my family is special. I made it because I know we're not. No matter what your story, it's hard. The moment you realize that your parents are just people. It's also scary to think you may inherit whatever their flaws or illnesses are. We all need the strength and wisdom to break the negative cycles of addiction, abuse, and violence. This film was my attempt at revealing some sort of truth by literally piecing together the history and psychology of my family. It took me 3 years, and it was the hardest thing I have ever done. They also say, I see art in everyday life, and I didn't have to look any further than my own family life. My film is original because it is completely homemade, and everyone in my family participated in creating it over several decades. On the topic of ASMR, because this is an ASMR rental store, they say ASMR fans will like how close and real the film is. Also, that quote, relaxation clears my mind and helps me make the right creative decisions. This project was emotionally intense to make, but by the end of it, I feel I worked through a lot of personal issues, and now I'm going to let you watch a little bit, so enjoy. Still run into that problem, yes, even in 2021, we still have to remind people to rewind the tapes back. Alright, so let's see what else I got in the ASMR MDB. Okay. Now these first two have been a traditional narrative documentary films, but I do have video art here at the ASMR store. So, I think one that you should add to your rental list is Pure Vanilla by Matthew Lowry. Matthew says, ASMR fans will enjoy the repetitive texture of sound, syncopations, reverbs, and soft glissando. Light visual, not to be focused on, only to be used as a gentle guide to help one float. This piece was inspired by traditional Indian music and Super Mario. Let me get a little film clip for you and go ahead and enjoy the film. Isn't it? I thought so as well. So I'll make sure to get that all ready for you. Yes, it is a VHS. No, we don't do DVDs here, no, just video rental. I know. Okay. So I do have some other films coming up for you in the database. Let's see. Okay. So we are almost out of films. I know, we're a pretty popular place to be. We have a film by first-time filmmaker Irvin D. Reed, The African Democracy Project, a university model for studying democracy. There is a description, so let me read it to you. After more than a decade of interviews and research, this documentary film, African Democracy, Hopes and Challenges, offers an expansive examination of the development of democracy in select countries on the world's second largest continent. This is the culmination of an 11-year-old journey across Africa, which I took along with various teams of student researchers. The documentary also revolves around extensive interviews with more than 200 citizens in African leading countries, including a dozen or so current and former African presidents, prime ministers, rebel leaders, and liberators from colonialism. It explores the struggles to establish democratic norms in areas such as elections, political parties, economic sustainability, and corruption. The film also scrutinizes the issue of democracy through the eyes of many of the students who worked on this project, forcing them to confront stereotypical American views and expectations of African politics and society. At a time when media stories about Africa often center on war or disease, I wanted my students to be able to see for themselves the amazing changes taking place on the continent and to be able to deconstruct the stereotypes, myths, and falsehoods they've been fed about Africa every day. I felt it would be powerful to capture their experiences on film right alongside conversations with African citizens and with some of the very architect of African democracy. So I'll let you watch a little bit, and it is starting now. It is quite the unique film, right? So this is the only copy, so make sure to bring it back, okay? Yes, thank you. I do have a few other featured forms of art and media, including scripts, cassettes of podcasts, and some music I could lend you. Okay, yeah, make sure to just bring them back on time. My late fee charge is a little up there. So I have a song. This is called Speechless, and this is by Polar Levine. Do you like starting now? So, would you like to hear a little bit about them? Of course. Polar Levine is a musical group going by Polarity/One, visual artist and animator, and is completing his first novel. Growing up around New York City, he was exposed to every genre of everything from everywhere. He has a taste for surreality and avant-gardism as well as trad. Genres are used for color and orchestration. All creative media shares the same compositional elements, which makes it easy for you to shift around and stay fresh. And each medium draws out a different part of his nature. It's cool. I'll make sure you go home with that one. So I do have some scripts for some movies. Would you like to do a little reading? Of course you would. Who doesn't like to read? So, let's see. glass case before they disband. While on the job, they unwittingly unleash danger of supernatural proportions. And I do have a director's statement, okay? Michael says, I have wanted an R-rated Scooby-Doo since I was 14, so this was me satisfying that wish. In doing so, I added the horror elements as well as more adult humor. The Scooby-Doo and the Evil Dead franchises served as the main influences of the script, along with the elements of Ghostbusters and Stephen King's It and its film adaptations. I was also influenced by the meta-humor featured in Deadpool, Jim Jarmusch's The Dead Don't Lie, and Kevin Smith's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Would you like to hear a recording of the script? Perfect.
Reggie, mid-teens, a kid whose face appears to have been constructed by the gods themselves and has shown no signs of worry until now, sits on a bench in the hallway, filled with the voices of various animals. His Letterman jacket drapes over his athletic body as a makeshift blanket, but his eyes stay open and scream with exhaustion. Classic rock blasts from the headphones over his ears. Doctors and other Kavita and Brian exit the campus and are walking along. Kavita, I know this is going to sound so ignorant of me, but what are you planning to do when you graduate? I mean, what kinds of jobs do philosophers apply for? 28 Brian, you mean besides tending bar, standing over a fryer, or rambling incoherently on a corner quoting Schopenhauer? Kavita, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Brian, no, that's...
So we are running a little low on media here, but I do have some sets of podcasts left available. Perfect. This is... Here we have Known Unknowns podcast. It explores unexplainable mysteries. They discuss the things that lie on the fringes of reality, things that we know that are unknown. This includes ghosts, folklore, conspiracies, and everything out there that lies outside the realm of explainable. Because let's be honest, it is a little weird out there. Carly is one of the creators on the show and says about ASMR, I have a love-hate relationship with relaxation. On one hand, I feel like I get more done when I'm really busy. This motivates me to finish all my tasks, including research for the podcast. On the other hand, relaxation gives me time to rest and listen to other content that might inspire me to write a story that I want to share. I think I need a good balance between the super busy and mega relaxation time. I'm always trying to switch things up. I'm always trying to find ways to switch things up to keep things interesting and pleasing to my ears. While the other creator, Harry, says, I often use podcasts to relax and make sure my leisure time is more enjoyable. It's nicely passive listening to something to distract from life's stresses as I'm winding down after a long day, or while I'm playing a video game or riding the train, and it's best when what I'm listening to is still intellectually stimulating and entertaining. That's what I want Known Unknowns to be, a fun trip away from one's day-to-day life with a variety of new and unexpected notions to consider. Would you like to hear a bit? Of course.
Okay.
That's my take.
Okay.
Or that's somebody else's take that I'm repeating.
Okay. That you agree with. You agree with the take.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it, what do you think? Do you not do?
I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's everything. That's I don't have anything else to say before we do what we're here to do.
Cool. I don't either. I know both of our topics are kind of long and in depth, so I feel like we should get into it.
Yeah, I think we should.
I'm excited to.
Alright, so I do have a few more of these podcasts to rent. we have The Old-Timey Spectral Hour by Ashley Garp. Ashley says about ASMR, relaxation is one of the biggest keys for my creativity. If I'm not truly relaxed within the space I'm creating in, then my creations are created out of haste or inspired by disingenuous circumstances. I find my happy place for creating is an environment where I don't feel rushed, where my thoughts can flow free, and where I feel most comfortable with the space I'm in. I believe that ASMR fans will find my work to be a nice escape from reality, even if it's just for a couple minutes, or for a few hours, depending on how much they like the story. The Old-Timey Spectral Hour incorporates the listening aesthetic, heralding back to the past, while storytelling in the present. The overall sound of the series harkens back to a 1940s radio drama, while the characters involved with the lore are present today. It's a pseudo-time capsule, one that allows your mind to see everything that's being presented through an audio form. Very interesting. There's a little more. Ashley also adds that the series brings me back to the classic Goosebumps meets Tales from the Crypt meets Are You Afraid of the Dark, all of which inspired me as a child to the fun, terrifying tales. The Old-Timey Spectral Hour is reminiscent of all those classics, with a past tense twist, which I love. Okay, ready to hear a little bit? Let's go ahead.
Scout, where the H-E? Double hockey stick, where you two? It's past 10 on a Tuesday.
I know what you said, Ma. Scout just said how a couple...
Okay, and looks like I have one more for you. So I have the Vaccines Vignette podcast by Vera J. Brooks. Would you like to listen to a bit? Okay, here we go.
Oh dear, that was my mom, laying into me 2 years ago. It wasn't the first time, probably won't be the last. I guess I deserved it, but don't tell her I said that. It was Labor Day weekend 2021. I was heading back home to Chicago after quite a while. Shoes, toothbrush, toothpaste, and do-rag all packed. What is left on my to-do list? Ooh.
And I have one last little piece of media before you just wipe my shelves clean. I assume you're ready? Perfect. This is Traces of Mika, a society and culture podcast that features unscripted conversations with Tamika, her friends, her family, and celebrity writers. The podcast was featured on streaming giant Pandora as a top pick for listeners. She presently tours the country speaking about her battle with mental illness and depression while fulfilling her dreams, as well as mentoring aspiring writers. Today she is creating a whole new story that digs into motherhood, self-love, while raising her children in Atlanta. I think we should take a look and a listen, okay? Okay, ready? Alright, so that is everything that I have for you today. So I do have a giant stack of these films, these cassettes and everything, so I'm gonna grab you a bag and you will be on your merry little way in no time with them all, okay? I cannot wait until the next time I see you and I have a whole new list of curated movies, documentaries, music, podcasts, scripts, all various